All praises to Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem Rakah Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. And this is going to be a video on how once it gets real, all the game playing is going to stop. And what happens in this society right now, man, is just a lot of people playing games, trying to antagonize people, right? You got all these false prophets, scoffers, right, running their mouth, talking about what the Hebrew Israelites this and the Hebrew Israelites that. You got Esau running his damn mouth. You got women running their mouth. You got the black unconscious community running their mouth, talking all the stuff that they talk about. You got all these red pill mans running their mouth. You got this new weird trend of all this look maxing thing where people just do complete absolute weirdo activity to try and look a little bit better. Talking about mogging and all these people trying to walk around, just trying to prove that they're better looking than other people. Right, you got this live streaming stuff. You've got women complaining about how men don't want to do this and do that for them. You've got men complaining about how women don't want to do this and do that for them, right? But when all hell breaks loose, all of the games are going to stop, man, and people are going to have to be made to realize that they're not nothing special. Whereas right now, just like the scripture said it would be through prophecy, people are lovers of themselves. But when all hell breaks loose, they're going to realize that they're actually nothing. Right, and this is, people cannot like me, they cannot like the delivery that way I'm bringing this and all of that. It's going to happen, whether you like it or not. There's nothing you can do about it. You might think, nah, the day of the Lord is going to be postponed. We can postpone it. No, you can't. The day of the Lord is going to happen. And when it does, all the people that thought that there was something in this world are going to gradually continue to get more and more evidence that they're not who they thought they was. Amos chapter 5 verse 18. Warn to you that desire the day of Yahweh, because there's a lot of these fake Christians out there, right, that they're saying that they can't wait for the day of the Lord so that they can get raptured and all that, thinking that they're going to escape the tribulation. But woe unto them people, because to what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. So they're calling and hoping for the day of the Lord, thinking that they're going to be raptured and taken away from the earth. But in fact, the day of the Lord is going to come like they desire. But they shouldn't be have been the kind of people that was desiring it, because it doesn't mean nothing good for them. The day of the Lord is darkness in general and not light. But for the people that are not even really believers of the Lord and are not even the right nation to believe, the day of the Lord is going to be really darkness for them, with no light at the end of the tunnel. As if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him. So to a lot of you people that are desiring the day of the Lord, thinking that it's something for you, it's going to be like a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him and went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall and a serpent bit him. Shall not the day of Yahweh be darkness and not light, even very dark and no brightness in it? And in that time, who can show off? Like, there's this video going around of that pretty Israelite woman that does jujitsu, right? Talking about what man she's going to want to have during a post-apocalyptic event and all that. And fair enough, the things that she was saying, she was making points. She was singing it real out there, yeah? But the way she was talking is as if it's her choice. As if she's just going to be able to select whatever man she wants. No matter what man she might desire in that time, if they don't want her, she ain't having them. So she could end up stumbling upon a man of the elect of Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai, but that man might be like, nah, I don't want you, you're a demon. Then what's she gonna do? Like, now, just to sing it real, the day of the Lord is a thing. I mean, that time is gonna be a thing where women are gonna be the ones chasing after the men. The women are gonna be the one cold approaching men and all that. If you were for me to use that term, the men are gonna be chasing after the men, seeking men. But just like how now in this time where men are the ones that most of the time go to women to start interactions, male and female, right? And then the woman decides whether she wants the man or not, right? Well, right now, I mean, in that time, excuse me, the women are going to be coming for the men, and the men are going to decide whether they want that woman or not. So that woman that's talking about, oh, she wants a man that can defend himself, doing this and doing that and all of that, right? Well, when these kind of women actually end up realizing that the actual man that's to be desired is a man that Yahweh has selected and has got his spiritual protection over, a lot of those women during that time are going to have jumped from like 5 different men in that time in the day of the Lord, man. And men of the elect, right? This is what some of you people don't understand. And this is a question that we can put out there. I can put out there, in fact, right? If during the day of the Lord there's a woman that's attractive and you desire with your eyes, but she's got a man and she's saying, "Oh, this man ain't righteous. Can you come? Can I be your wife instead?" Would that not be adultery? So you wouldn't be allowed to bring her onto your wife anyway, because that would be adultery. And that's what a lot of you women don't understand. The men of the elect are not going to be on no adultery, right? They ain't going to be on that. And that woman also exposed how fickle women are, man. Because when the society is right now as it is, where you can be some little nerd dweeb that's good on the computers and get millions in your bank account, women are down for those guys to a certain degree. But in the moment if the world became where you have to be some brolic, a post-apocalyptic warlord to be the man of the times, they'd be down for that guy. And if it came to where you didn't have to be the nerd or didn't have to be the brolic guy, had to be a guy that grows lettuce, they'd be on that guy. Because they're on whoever's winning at the time, man. They ain't righteous. Women ain't righteous, bruv. They're on whoever's winning at the time. Whoever's winning or whoever they can use to get access to what they need at a particular time and hour, that's who they're on. And that's most women. Now, someone can come with that, "Oh, you hate women, you hate females and all that." Whatever, man. Right? Whatever you want to say. The truth hurts sometimes, man. And the Bible's got a whole bunch of scriptures in there that speak about how women are exactly like this. And if you think of in your life concerning women, you'll know that for the most part, even when the woman's acting on point, that eventually she shows these same traits within her. But let's go to this. Isaiah chapter 4 and verse 1. "And in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel." But here it is right now, right? Women are playing games. "Oh, my man can't have another woman. My man can't have another woman and another female." But when all hell breaks loose, right? And let's just say it was actually to be 7 women. So now you've got 1 woman and you're a man, right? And then now 6 other women show up and say they want your protection from the darkness of what's happening outside in this world. And you think your wife's gonna be running up her mouth saying, "Nah, you can't date no women. You can't date no women. Shabazz, you can't," or whatever your name is. "Shabazz, you can't date. Latrell, Jerome, you can't date no other women. You can only be with me because otherwise I'm calling the police and I'm gonna throw your clothes out on the front lawn." You think she's gonna be coming into that bullshit? You think she's gonna be on some checking your phone vibes, checking your phone to see who is messaging and all that bullshit? Like what happens now? No, but right now the games are still active. But when all hell breaks loose, all that games of, "Oh, women don't like and women don't want men to have more upper women," and all that bullshit's gonna go out the window, man. The woman's gonna shut her mouth. She ain't gonna be brave enough to be saying anything about no, "Oh, because she'll be worried that she'll be at risk of being hung out to dry and cast out, man, and be on her own." Whereas right now the game's still being played where when women have a son, yeah, if women have a young son and they realize that their son's attractive to girls and he's looking like he can get multiple girlfriends and all that, these women get gassed up from that. They're happy, they boast. "Oh, he's so handsome. I heard this girl saying this about him the other day, and I heard that girl saying that about him the other day." Women love going up to young Jakes that they think are handsome and saying to them, "Oh, when you grow up, you're gonna have so many girlfriends." They love saying that shit to them. They love saying that shit. But then the moment their man has multiple women, then now they got a problem with it. That's the games. And when all hell breaks loose, all them games are gonna be thrown out the window. In fact, I personally think that we're gonna see women grab up and try and bring extra women to their man to try and please him, to try and prove their worth. That's what I foresee happening. Whereas right now, it's games time. Women are playing games. "Oh, my man can't do this. My man can't do that." But when all hell breaks loose, they ain't gonna be running their mouth like that, man. All that the man has to be, and it's not even every woman that even says all the height thing. And if you look at the reality of the world, not every woman's chasing a man that's over 6 foot and all that. But I'm on about the women that do say it. When all hell breaks loose, they're not gonna be running their mouth saying none of that BS. They're not gonna be talking about they need a man that makes $500,000 a week, or all these ridiculous things that they're saying, as if they've ever met anybody in their life, that ever makes that. All the games are gonna stop, man. Like right now, man. Like right now, just being public right now, and people a lot. There's like women on. It's a night time, like 9, 11 at night or whatever, between 9 to 11 at night, where you got the drunk women on the train, singing and all that, running their mouth, seeking attention on the train, scantily clad. You got the drunk lads on there doing their thing and all that. I just make one crazy psychopath that stinks, some homeless person that stinks or whatever, that's kind of crazy, but they're big a bit. Just come up on that train and watch how quickly the vibe changes up, man. Just off that. Just off that, the whole vibe can be shaken down, man. So when these people in the world are going arrogant as if they've just got it all figured out, it's a joke. I remember one brother before that, he told one story where there must have been some like tea scare, and he said that there was one woman that men would normally get gassed up over, that she ran to the doors of the building that he worked at or something like that, and she was just crying to be let in, saying, please let me in and all that. She weren't, but minus that situation happening, she would have been proud. And that's the thing. A lot of these women right now that are going to be seeking mercy from men never showed men no mercy in this time now. They were arrogant and proud. And some of these women that are going to be designed to be some of you brothers' wives, yeah, when all hell breaks loose, they wouldn't have gave you the time of day now. They would have looked at you like you're a tramp. They might have in fact scoffed when they seen you on camera and said, ugh, these men are nasty. But then when all hell breaks loose and things switch around, then they're going to be up in your face desiring for you to save them and bring them as a wife in the kingdom. And that's going to be up to you to decide whether you are actually going to accept that or not. You know what I mean? That's going to be your individual choice, man. But a lot of women are going to be getting rejected whether they desire men or not. What women seem to think in their mind is that just because they desire men, that the man's supposed to desire them. Like I was watching one, I might do a lesson on it. In fact, I was watching one video, and it was this one tall Jake and that, and he was doing some training video and that. I'm into fitness, so I was watching a training video and that. Yeah. And then some random Israelite woman just came up to him and was all up in his face. And he was like, what are you talking about? I don't know you. Like she was saying to his cameraman, me and him have been married for 3 years, to the point where he had to go to the staff and they had to like let him out of a different exit, man. She got absolutely rejected. He didn't want to know her. She was treating him like how weird old men treat women that they think are attractive. And he didn't want to know. He didn't want nothing to do with her. He didn't want nothing to do with her, man. Let's get into this from more of this prophecy anyway. 2 Ezra chapter 15 and verse 6. In fact, verse 5, behold, saith Yahweh, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. Now, all you people that think you're tough out there, I'm a tough guy. I know 25 martial arts. All right. Like, I can get down with, like, knowing martial arts. I can get down with that. That's a good thing to know. You know what I mean? To know martial arts is good. Like, I was watching a video of Jon Jones, a breakdown of Jon Jones' fighting style the other day, and I was like, man, that guy really is a good fighter, man. And what made him so good is like he was damn near pretty much trying to fight to the death in the ring. Everyone else was trying to fight to either win on points or get knockout or get submission. But when I was looking at his style, I was like, man, this guy's actually really trying to break his opponent's body in half. He's blasting out their knees, trying to tear their ACL. He's jumping in the air, stomping on them. He's elbowing them. And some of the moves that he was doing are kind of actually illegal. But the way how he fights is to actually destroy his opponent and make their life miserable. And one of his previous opponents, in fact, Rampage Jackson, is always complaining about his knees, right? He's always complaining about his knees. When he's going upstairs in the house or in his house or something, he'll be complaining about his knees. And I only just realized a couple of days ago, I was like, damn, Jon Jones did that to him. I was thinking, man, Jon Jones did that. That's probably because of Jon Jones when he was fighting him and he kept doing a kick on him on his leg called an oblique kick, which is where you kick the knee and then it hyperextends the knee joint, man. But anyway, verse 6, for wickedness have exceedingly... No, let me go back to verse 5 again. For behold, saith Yahweh, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. So, okay, you're good with the sword? Okay, but how can you make food out of... You might be a mighty man, but you can't make food out of nowhere. All the best mighty men in this world desire a meal plan. You understand? They all desire a meal plan. They all require a meal plan. All these big overgrown bodybuilders, these big strong men and all that, they need a meal plan. They got to make sure they get their right protein in and all that. They have to have time and energy and spare leisure to be able to even maintain their body with their diet to be able to even reach them heights of strength. They need time. They need free time. If they got too much going on, they can't even reach those levels, man. And that's why professional boxers or professional fighters that have another job at the same time often struggle to be able to reach the level that they need to be able to fight good. Because if you're a bricklayer or plumber, an electrician, but at the same time you're a professional boxer, that's not the same as being a professional boxer only. Because in the time where you would have been being your construction job, right? The other fighters are just training in that time. You're technically doing something that could be considered physical activity, but they'll be actually focusing on boxing specific training, whereas you'll be going and doing whatever job you do. So you need leisure to be able to even reach the heights of the greatness of fighting. You actually need leisure and time, man, to spar, thinking about shadow boxing, thinking about all the things you're going to do, the training, to be able to rest, because that's important. That's what a lot of people don't know when it comes to fitness as well. Exercise is catabolic, meaning it breaks your body down. Resting is anabolic, meaning that it builds your body up. And after maybe 8 weeks of hardcore training, there's a thing within the fitness industry called a deload week, which is where you decrease the intensity of your workouts by half, by 50 to 60%, right? And in that time, your body's in a rest, but active rest. And within that time, you actually become stronger after that week of rest. And then on your ninth week when you train now, or on the next week if you start a new training program or whatever, you'll actually be stronger in that next week because of that week rest. And you can do different kind of deloads where maybe you might just not train at all and just walk, or where you lessen the training percentage, or where you keep the intensity the same but make the sets or whatever that you do be less. And boxers use this technique leading up to their fights. They'll train hard leading up to the fight camp, right? Then in that final week, they'll lessen all the work. And the hope would be that now that they've did that deload week leading up to the fight, on the fight night, they're at their perfect level of fitness, and all the training that they did the previous 8 weeks, 8, 9, 10 weeks or whatever, all that effort now is going to be put into that one night on the fight. And sometimes they get it wrong, and then you notice that the fighters are burnt out and they don't have the stamina. But when they get it right, that's when you see fighters do damage in the ring, right? And the fighters normally with most experience are able to do that. But yet for all of this, those fighters were not made to do those things within a famine, and that's the point I'm making. If there's a famine in the world, you ain't going to be seeing no fighters running around talking about what fight they're going to have and all that. If there's a famine, you can't be doing all these things while there's a famine. Boxing and all these combat sports things and all these sports in general, even down to football, right? Which I don't particularly think that football is like a mighty man thing. Although they are agile and they can run around, they got a lot of agility. But I don't personally see how that would translate to fighting, right? Although they are mighty men, but I don't see how their agility I can get down with, but it doesn't translate too much into fighting when I look at it. Although the football players would have been mighty men in the past, they would have been, right? But even down to that, they can't do that in a famine. You can't be doing all that running around 5 miles in a football match in one game, right? While you can't eat and there's barely any food, you're gonna be drained. You ain't gonna have the energy to do that. Death and destruction for wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works have fulfilled. Therefore saith the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit. Neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. So right now, where people are playing games, they're able to get away with this, they're able to get away with that. When all hell breaks loose, they're not going to be able to get away with these things, man. And a lot of people are going to be humbled. A lot of people are going to be finally getting what they deserve. And it doesn't hurt my heart to say this, a lot of them are going to be women, because they're the main people playing games. A lot of them are going to be Edomites, because they're even more so than women are the main ones playing games, man. They're going to be getting it too. Everyone's going to be having something happen to them, man. There ain't going to be nobody exempt. Whereas for the longest time, it was like only the Israelite man, and sometimes, occasionally as well, the Israelite woman, they're the only one that was acceptable to catch hell. But when it really goes down, everyone's going to be catching hell. Everyone's going to be getting exactly what they deserve, man. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually, and we complain. We're always complaining to where people just think, man, we're miserable. That's what people really think about us. Or all y'all do is complain. Mate, that's what we're supposed to do. That's what we're supposed to do, is complain. What, in fact, don't worry about why we're complaining. Think about why you're not complaining. Is it because you're a demon that really just enjoys the society but is upset about how you don't have a big enough portion in it? That's what you people should be really thinking about. Verse 9, and therefore saith the Lord, I will surely avenge them and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt, because Yahweh is going to deliver us from deliver the elect for starters. That's in America, which is Babylon the Great, which is also Egypt in this time spiritually, right? But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that God shall bring upon it. The judgments are coming, man. Verse 13, they that till the ground shall mourn, for their seed shall fail through the blasting and hail, and with a fearful constellation. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. Who can play around in that time? When things start getting popping, no one ain't playing no more, man. The nightclub might be jumping until some grimy 2/3 pull out the Australian and start squeezing off. The nightclub be jumping until that. Before that, the women will be swinging their fat ass all around, twerking it off, playing the games with men. I don't think that you got enough to handle a woman like me. They'll be running their mouth, saying whatever they want to say. They'll be dancing, going by, flapping their hair by men so that you can get a whiff of them and all that, right? They'll be saying to men, you gonna buy me a drink or not? And all that, right? But as soon as some grimy 2/3 pulls out the Australian and starts squeezing off, everyone runs out. Rightly so. Right? But that's swords in their hands. That's people with swords in their hands. Everything's a game until things start getting up on that level. And some people might have not seen the video. I've seen it. Of the robots that were doing karate. The robots was doing martial arts, man. And then I just started laughing to myself when I was watching the video, whichever brother or elder or apostle it was that made me see the video. I was like, man, Yahweh really is going to make us fight robots before we get into the kingdom, you know? Like, he's actually good. Yahweh's actually going to do that, man. And I remember a while back when Apostle Tahar, I couldn't believe it when I remember Apostle Tahar did that video. It was a video about zombies. And I've been heavily into the zombie movie thing for like almost 2 decades, man. But like, I remember when Apostle Tahar did a video during the lockdowns, and he was like, it was a video of something to do with zombies. I don't even know if that channel even exists anymore. Maybe it's got taken down, but he did a video about zombies. And I remember thinking about that, like, would Yahweh make something like that even happen during this time, man, as well? Not necessarily like how it is in the movie, but like make humans be acting like they've got some kind of crazed rage that can spread through like blood or something like that, man. Who knows what some of the things that Yahweh's going to pull out, man. It's going to be the worst time ever. But I think that we might fight robots before we get into that kingdom. Or once we're changed, have to fight these things, whatever it's going to be, man. A lot's going to happen, man. A lot's going to happen. And some of these people that think that they're mighty men in this world, they're going to have to throw hands with a robot and they're going to get dusted off, man. They're going to be... Imagine a robot that knows Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and puts one of the greatest Brazilian Jiu-Jitsus on earth now, but puts them in a guillotine, man. Or puts them in an armbar, some triangle choke on it. Your body ain't strong enough to fold up a robot's joints, is it? It can work on a human bigger than you, but a robot's joints are not normal. They're overpowered, man. Just like how no matter how much we train our body right now, the human body's weak. You can try and train all you want. Let someone just pinch your skin. Just a little pinch of your skin. You'll feel that. Let someone, you can be as tough as you want to be. Let someone poke you in your eye by accident. Look at how many times the real elite heavy fighters, big guys, man, tough guys, and they get eye poked. They have to stop. They need 5 minutes rest. They need 5 minutes rest after they get eye poked, man. That's how big of a deal your eye getting poked is. 5 minutes. That's a whole round in MMA. In boxing, you get 5 minute break if you get accidentally hit in the groin. But in a real fight, a real one, you don't get no 5 minutes rest. So if somebody deliberately poked you in your eye and was able to land that kind of attack while you can't see, there ain't no referee going to be there to say, okay, he needs a rest. Let's get the eye wash doctor, come and have a look at his eye and see if he's all right. No, you don't get that. If you get really hit in your groin in a real fight, you don't get no referee that comes by and says, all right, give him a rest. You're just a person that's been kicked in the nuts and they're going to proceed to carry on getting whooped. And that's why thinking that you're going to escape the judgment of the Lord because of martial arts or how good you are with a sword, gun, or whatever, that's a joke. And nobody that's of the elected nation of Israel would think like that. None of them. And that's why there's people that actually know these things, that before they even start talking about these topics, they let it be known the only way you're going to make it is through Yahweh first and foremost. They already know this. But some people think that their martial arts is going to work. But listen, man, if you're trying to put someone in a guillotine and all these things, all these chokes and all that, and they're at this actively trying to gouge your eye out and doing all the moves that would not be allowed in a normal jiu-jitsu match, it's going to be different. Like, even when I was watching that video of that woman and she was doing all them takedowns on them men, she had long curly hair and it looked nice. But if any of them men would have just decided, you know what, while she's trying to do all these takedowns, I'm going to grab her by her hair and rag her head off, them moves wouldn't have worked like that. If they would have just grabbed her by her hair and start yanking her head from left to right, man. And that's why all these jakes out there, these effeminate jakes, that they might even be big and strong, having long hair for a man. Listen, man, you don't want that. You can get grabbed by your hair and dashed around, man. So that's what y'all don't understand. If a man decides to fight another man, like how women fight women and decides to grab their hair and just start pulling their head, men can pull a lot of weight, man. There's men in this world that can roll, which is the same movement. They can roll like hundreds of pounds, man. 300, 400 pounds and all that, which is like 150 kilograms and all that, man. So imagine that force being applied to your head. You don't want to have long, girly hair like that, man. And I'm not talking about no afro here. I'm talking about these dreadlocks, these dreadmans and that. This Chicago dreads look and all that. But anyway, let me carry on. Verse 16, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, in the course of their actions shall stand in their power. If we're coming to a time where men are not going to care what the government's saying, right, then they definitely ain't going to care what a woman's saying. And they definitely ain't going to be caring if someone's old and frail, and even if they want to try and get one upon them. They're not going to care. And that's why this video is intense, because when all hell breaks loose, the games are going to stop. The little social contracts that people have where, okay, we have a little road rage. I beat my horn at you and flip you the bird. You beat your horn at me and I flip you the bird, right? When it goes down in that time, people are going to be nervous to do any of that. They're going to be nervous to beat their horn, man. Like, I remember when the lockdown initially started and that, way back. And like, I went to go get food like everybody else did. And there was one couple in front of me that had 2 trolleys, pretending like they don't know each other to try and get more food. And they try to push in front of me, and I just said to the geezer, I was like, what are you doing? I was like, what are you doing? Don't try and push in front of me. But like, if it would have been that time, and it would have been somebody outside of me, that same situation, trying to do that kind of stuff to people in that time, if it was really the day of the Lord's wrath, could have resulted in somebody getting unalived. Them same scenarios, people aren't going to be playing them kind of things when it really goes down like that, man. People are going to be fighting over beans. They're going to be fighting, like, where all them situations where you had women fighting over tissue and all of that, right? After those women fight over the tissues in the time to come, which they're going to still do that, right? Whoever the winner is, they're going to end up getting followed back to their car, someone's gonna go upside their head, and then someone's gonna steal the tissue from them anyway. That's what's gonna end up happening. If someone decides that tissue is such a big of a deal, they end up stealing it from them anyway. That's what they don't understand. Anyway, carry on. They shall not regard their kings nor princes in the course of their actions to stand in the power, meaning that if you can get away with doing it because you're physically capable, they're gonna do it. So that just by understanding that lets you know that women are not gonna be having their way in the time to come because men are physically more capable than women. That's just the truth of the matter. Now, women right now might say, "Oh, nah, that ain't true. I think I could." Okay, you can think what you want to think. You can think what you want to think, man. Because a lot of us have the hope for the elect anyway. It's a good thing for us that the day of the Lord is not going to be based on how strong you are. Because no matter how much we used to train in the past, how much we think we train now, we ain't the strongest of all the men on the earth. Yahweh didn't choose the mighty. Yahweh didn't choose the strongest of our nation. So we better hope that it's not about that. That makes you get salvation, because we ain't that. You know what I mean? We ain't the strongest of our nation, man. Yahweh chose the weak things to confound the mighty. So we're actually some of the weakest of our nation. How about that? We're actually some of the weakest. Now, some of us might be mighty, but whichever the mightiest Israelite of the hope for the elect is, right? Trust and believe that there's a Jake in the world that's stronger than you. You ain't strong. You ain't the strongest of Jake. No, I don't personally believe that any of these believers of Yahweh by Shem that truly believe are some of the strongest Jakes of our nation. I don't believe that any of the super strongest ones are in it. I think that the strongest are in the world being scoffers, personally. And you ain't going to see too many of them come into believing the Lord properly because they're too worried about thinking how strong they are. Verse 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, for because of their pride, and that's all that flown out. You ain't going to be all getting flown out in the time to come. They're going to be no women gallivanting all over the place, gallivanting here, gallivanting there. You're going to have to stay your ass inside. Just like how them lockdowns came and all you women that are begging attention, you had to stay your ass in the house. You couldn't just be seen all the time like you desire. You couldn't just decide that you want to try and get some attention and slap some yoga pants on and first it off at the gym. Wearing cleavage showing tops and yoga pants. Thirsty as hell, man. Knowing damn well that you got a man at home, pretending like you're going gym. When the physique that you've got, you could maintain at home now. You could get the same physique at home, but nah, you want to do it in the gym, innit? Don't try to play. You think men don't know? Verse 18, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. People are going to be terrified in the time to come. And when that happens, all the gameplay is going to stop, man. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and the great tribulation. And when you consider that the time to come, like men that believe in the Lord right now, like we've been going through things, man, which some people might say that what we've been through is not that much. Other people might have gone through less than others. But every single person that believes in the Lord, they're going through all kind of things, man. Health problems, right? Stress of several different things. And no one's really cared when we've been going through these things, man. They didn't care. They thought it was funny. If they heard us on camera looking sick or sounding sick, they didn't feel, oh man, this guy looks like he's going through a lot. They thought it was funny. They think it was funny to see us going through these things. People laughing, scoffing, mocking and all that. So when we finally find ourselves in a position where we are able to be treated differently, you think we're not going to be laughing at you people? We are. I'm going to end the video here and just go back to this point again. When the day of the Lord starts, all the game playing is going to stop, man. Shalom to the elect.